Hello, my name is Tarmack, and let me show you Hitman GO Definitive Edition. So, this is another Square Enix title. Of course, they do all the Hitman games. This one in particular was done out of the Montreal studio. Released on February 23rd, 2016. Should be $8 on Steam right now. I believe it launched a little bit less with the usual discounts. And it's out on PC, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. I'm playing on PC because that's what I always do. What is Hitman GO? It is an iOS game that has since been ported to those other platforms. And it started out where it had some extra pay elements, of course, as most iOS games do. The port has none of that. They've removed all of it, and so you pay once you get all the content, which is lovely. Now, it's a turn-based strategy game where you move Agent 47 around, and after every move, the rest of the board kind of does their own thing. So let's hop into one here, but first I want to show you a little bit of where the content goes. So you've got a whole bunch of different boxes, and of course everything's modeled after sort of a board game kind of aesthetic. Really looks quite unique as far as game design goes. So let's hop into one here. And we're going to go and do just the first level so I can explain how this works. So again, we're moving Agent 47 back and forth, and every different NPC that you run into is going to have certain rules that they live by. So this one in particular here, this guy in blue, if you step in front of him, he jumps forward and he kills you. Pretty simple concept. So our question is, what do we need to do? Well, if we hop over here, we've got a little platform so we can skip over to other areas. Grabbed our briefcase there, which is good. And then you can pick up items where you can distract things. So in this case, we just drop our little rock over here. Now he's going to move, because he's going to that spot to look and see what the hell the noise was. But now, he's still facing in the same direction, so we can approach him from the side, we can finish him off, and we can make it to the end of the level. So this is the structure of the game. This is how everything throughout the whole game works. And of course, as you go, you're going to run into different NPCs that have different abilities, different rules that they live by. The controls are very, very, very simple. All you're doing is you're clicking with your mouse and you're dragging Agent 47 from one place to the next. So, take a look at another level here. So in this one, we've got a totally different set of characters that we're dealing with. We've got these green guys. Now, if I jump in front of one of them, they've got their knife out, and if they're facing towards me, they kill me. Big surprise there. So, the other thing about them, though, is that they switch every turn. So I move this way, they're all going to rotate in a different direction. So I can see, well, I'm having a really hard time, I can't really move up anywhere here because there's always somebody pointing their knife at me. But that one guy over on the right side there, he's standing on a platform, so if we hop over here, we can come out underneath him, knock him out of the way, and if you're noticing the mathematics of moving from one place to another, what you'll notice is that I just moved 2 spaces with one move. So that means that now if I go back down here, all of their directions are reversed. So I can grab the briefcase, and I'll explain that in just a moment. So now I'm in this spot, I can kill either one of these guys because of the way that the movement structure works. I get to move first, and then everybody else does their move right afterwards. So now I can just drop back down here, deal with that green guy, and this one's already facing away. I don't have to kill him, but I can. And then we move to the end of the level. Simple as that. And the variety continues. It becomes a lot more complex when you start adding in different kinds of enemies as you go. And every level has a particular set of objectives that you need to complete. So obviously you need to get to the end of the level. That gets you your quote-unquote 1 star. And then things like collecting a briefcase in every level. And then you'll also have other objectives like doing it in only a certain number of turns, or doing it without killing anybody, without killing certain types of units, things like that, which is pretty good. I mean, and as you go, that's how you unlock the later boxes in the series of games that they've got here, the series of board game aesthetic that they're showing off. I have to say, I really like the board game look of it. There's something to this that is just so different. You know, that simple aesthetic that's just really, really easy on the eyes. It doesn't have to be complex, and it still looks good. It still looks fun. Now, obviously, the complexity in level design, it wouldn't work outside of a computer, but it's the kind of title that you could make a board game. Like, it really looks like you could build yourself a little model and, you know, wouldn't it be cool kind of thing. I'm getting somewhere in the area of about 300 frames per second. So as far as the graphics go, it is not taxing a GTX 970 at all, and the GTX 970 is basically just showing off because it's a bastard. That's kind of how that works. For the music side of things, or the audio side of things, the music is very, very ambient when you have it. And I'll show in the next level that you've actually got the wonderful Ave Maria, which is a great song to have when you're about to assassinate someone. So this level here, we've got two different kinds of NPCs that we're dealing with. We've got our green guy that switches back and forth, and we've got our yellow guys who they move along the same path, get to the end, turn around, and then go back the other way. So I can't get the briefcase right now because he'll kill me, so we pop up here. And we can go straight up and take out our knife guy. That's excellent. Get that out of the way right quick. So now I want to get that briefcase. So we'll wait until he's heading back the other way. We can pop down here. Excellent. We've got our briefcase. Now we need to get that blue key because that'll get him out of the way. So he has to move just a little bit further so we can get past him and scoot up and towards the end of the level. So again, as it goes, you start to get a lot more complex when they're starting to mix a lot of different types of NPCs together, which is, it starts to really get quite unique. And you'll reset levels an awful lot when you realize, oh crap, I've screwed this one up, I gotta start over. So as far as the difficulty goes, it's safe to say that if all you're interested in, you know, is getting to the end of each level, it is pretty easy. But if you want a challenge, you know, going for those briefcases, going for the 13 turns or fewer, that kind of stuff, that really ramps it up. And it's good. You know, it's a good difficulty curve. It gives you a lot of options. You can basically take it on however you wish. So I want to show off an assassination. Now, it's not necessarily as flashy as some others are in, you know, the Hitman games where they've got the special animations and all that kind of stuff. But again, show the complexity of how these games start, or how this starts to go. So I have no way of getting out of here without using my little teleport spot. So we'll hop over here. So now I can go down this way and get myself a red key. That's good. Gets him moving, but that's the direction I have to go. My target's over there in red on the end. Kill our green guy here. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Now, I have to get back on the other side of this yellow guy here on the same line that I'm on right now. So I'm going to go up this way to our little trap door, because that's the easiest way of getting back there. Just a little couple hops back and forth to make sure he moves. And now, this object here, this is a disguise. So I'm now dressed the same as the green guys. I can inhabit the same level or same spot that they're on, and nothing will happen. So now I don't have to worry about them stabbing me. Again, another couple little hops back and forth. And we can get ourselves a blue key and our briefcase, which is spectacular. But now, we have to get back on the other side of this guy. This yellow guy on the same line that we're on right now. So we'll do the same thing, back down to our little, I don't know, underground secret passageway, I guess you could say. Oh no! Look, I've gotten myself into a problem. So here's where you run into issues, right? I've got the yellow guy coming at me right now, and on the other way. So no matter whichever way I go, I'm dying in this turn. Because my disguise only works with the guys that are dressed the same as I am. So let's see if I can do that again, but this time without the dying part. We'll hop down here and get ourselves the red key. Little shuffle back and forth. Kill our green one. Back up top to our secret passageway. Shuffle again. Disguise. brief shuffle again. Key and briefcase, perfect. So, this time I have to be a little bit more careful because I want him going back in the other direction. Alright, there we go. So now, let us go ahead and kill... no, I'm sorry. We're going to go down here. There we are. So just waiting until this yellow guy is heading in an upward direction. We have our one final move. We can go over here and we can take care of our target. And if Ave Maria is not the perfect song for an assassination level, I don't know what is. Alright. So we've got options and performance to chat about. Whether you care about that or not is up to you entirely. You can change your different resolution options. It goes as high as, I believe it's just 1920 by 1080. I want to say that it doesn't really matter all that much. But anyways, you've got full screen, VSync, and sound on and off. I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't have audio sliders. That is kind of unfortunate because this is the kind of game you can have on the side while you're doing something else. You do a couple of moves, you go and you do whatever it is that you're pulling on the side as well. It doesn't make sense in this day and age to not have sliders. Now, granted, when you're on a mobile device, that doesn't matter, but we're not on a mobile device anymore. And as far as the performance goes, it's absolutely flawless. There's nothing to it. What I will say, though, is you'll notice that we've got black bars on the top and the bottom, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And also, in the bottom right, you can see a little bit of my Steam overlay behind the screen there. And I have no idea why that is. It just, for whatever reason, it's not resetting the rendering on that black bar area on the top and the bottom, which is just a silly oversight. I don't know how they missed it, but whatever, that's fine. And as far as the business model and price concerns and all that kind of wonderful stuff, all you're getting in this is, what do we got? So 7 different boxes, each with either 15 or 8 levels in them, depending on whether they're ones that are inspired directly by a Hitman game. So that's a total of 91 levels that you get to play with some reasonably good variety. And it costs $8. They don't have any of the sort of paying mechanics as you would on an iOS game. That's good value. That's really not an awful thing at all. So my conclusion at the moment is that this is fun. It's worth taking a look at. The only major critique that I have is that this is the kind of game that would benefit immensely from having a tool set for player-created levels. It would be amazing, and not having that tool set is a big mistake. They could have really just completely inspired the community to just go wild. If they'd allowed some kind of placeable structure, let you build your own levels, that would have been great. Other than that, I think we're done. This is Hitman GO Definitive Edition. Came out on February 23rd, 2016, Square Enix Montreal, for $8 US on PC, PS4, and PlayStation Vita. My name's Tarmack. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.